Okay, so I've got Dr. Thrax versus General Tao, but I can't build any units. So no units from Command Center, Supply Stash, Barracks, Arms Dealer, or Airfield if we capture one. Workers and rocket troops that spawn from supply stashes and tunnel networks are allowed, and rebel ambushes are also allowed because we're not actually building those units. Also, bonus challenge, we're not using Scud Storms either. And we can't use nuclear missiles either because General Tao likes to self-destruct those if you try and capture them. So no super weapons. Now on with the battle. So I got one worker building a stash, another worker who we're going to path into General Tao's base. So you're probably wondering why we're doing this. So aim of the game is we want to try and get a tunnel network inside General Tao's base. Now being very precise in the way I move this worker, trying to get the best path, because it's very tricky to keep him alive with all of those tank hunters in the garrison buildings. Now, because of that, I was a little bit slow getting my next two buildings up, so we want to get a barracks and a supply stash. So barracks, we get the tunnel networks, and supply stash, we get another worker. Now, with that, we're going to have 3 workers at our main base, so we can use those guys to build as many base defenses as we want. And then that gives us enough rocket troops to go inside the other tunnel that's going to be inside General Tao's base. So we're trying to inflict as much damage on Tao as possible right from the get-go. Now, priority number 1 is we want to take out his propaganda center. So he busts out nuke cannons and overlords around 10 minutes into the battle here. Now, in a can't build any units challenge, that's actually very tricky because I don't have an answer for that. I did have an answer as Prince Gassard though, because the rebels were camo netted, and they're able to sneak around the nuke cannons and destroy them that way. But as Dr. Thrax, it won't be that easy. So right now we're just trying our best to take out this prop center, and then once that's out of the game, no nuke cannons, no overlords. So here we go, workers getting into his base. See, he's taken damage. See, that part you can't avoid. He's going to take some amount of damage here. So he is in the red, but he's not left at 1 HP. Because normally that's what would happen to me, is the worker would be left with like 1 HP, and then he'd really have to struggle to get the next building up. So I think I did pretty well with that run, and when we get the tunnel up, we can just put the worker in the tunnel and then he's going to get healed up anyway. So back home, we're getting an arms dealer as well. So we want to get the arms dealer so then we can get the palace up. So palace is going to be the main line of defense because we can get some rocket troops to garrison the palace, and that's going to pick off a lot of the helixes and the battle masters as well. So we're using our rocket troops to take out the prop center. And like I said, the prop center is the reason why he's going to have the nuke cannons and overlords. Being very careful, I didn't want the rocket troops to get destroyed by the Gatling cannon there. So we garrison the building, take out some battle masters. I didn't want to have to do that because now the Gatling cannon is going to be firing on me, and my original plan was to get the worker to build a scaffold to try and clear the way, and then that way I could get some fire on the Gatling cannon itself. So yeah, I should have tried to do that, and I also should have kept the worker in play here, that way I could repair the garrison building as we're trying to defend ourselves. In any case, we did lose some rocket troops, but we kept enough to garrison the palace later on. Now this tunnel network is actually going to stay in play because it's so far away from everything in Tao's base, so he's not going to go after it very much. See, if I built that tunnel a little bit more to the left, then he'd start coming after it with the battle masters and the overlords that defend his base. So yeah, even though my first attack here kind of failed, it's not a total loss. We can actually use that tunnel later on to invade his base and have another crack at it. Okay, so we just took out a couple of battle masters. Now we're going to garrison the palace, and that's only 4 guys, so we need to build up another tunnel network so then we can get our 5th guy, and then the other guy can just chill out. So with General Tau, he'll only attack you with battle masters, helixes, tank hunters, and red guards by this point. Now I chose to sell off my arms dealer. I was thinking about fortified structures as well, but I felt it was a bit too soon because his next nuke is going to be 7 minutes away, so I got plenty of time. Now, selling off the arms dealer because I didn't feel like I needed a 2nd or a 3rd palace to help defend. If I wanted defense, I could just build more tunnels or build stinger sites. Stinger sites especially if we want to counteract the helixes, because there are some blind spots in my base when it comes to helixes. And sometimes helixes, they can fly over a palace to the point where the palace can't actually hit the helix, which is very strange. So right now, while we wait on the black market to go up, we're just doing a little bit of repair work. We've got to play the waiting game now. Since we don't have anything to really attack with, we're just going to build up our cash, get whatever upgrades we need, and then eventually we're going to build up enough tunnels to get the rocket troops up, and then we can mount an attack utilizing the tunnel network that's in General Tau's base. Now, with General Tau, he's only really sending red guards. If you were sending tank hunters that have a longer range of fire, so they'd be able to destroy that tunnel if he was smart and attack with tank hunters.
5 nukes? Maybe you want me to send you a clean pair of shorts now, huh?
Thank you for the new shoes.
Your weapons are no match.
So we've got 3 workers getting resources, plus the black market too. With our 4th worker, I decided to put him inside the tunnel. Now, I'm spawning him at Tau's tunnel. That way we can repair that tunnel. Plus, we want to do a little bit of repair work on the garrison building too. Now, I'm building a barracks scaffold so then we can clear that fencing. Now, doing that will mean that the next time I attack, I'll be able to get the Gatling cannon. And just going for the AP rockets. That way, next time I do my attack, I'll be able to do a lot more damage. So AP rockets plus the Anthrax Gamma is going to be a very good combo. Depending on how many rocket troops I put inside the garrison building, might I add. If I only put in like 1 or 2, then it's not really going to be the most effective thing. But if we can do like 6 or more, then it's really going to do a lot of damage. And here's the thing, with this tunnel, I think the way I've angled it, it means that his tank hunters have to move in closer than normal to actually attack it, which is good for me because then my tunnel can spray whatever toxins and then destroy them. Now, while we do our repair work on the garrison building, we need to get more tunnels to get more rocket troops. Now, I did hit rank 3. I went for level 2 rebel ambush plus a level 1 bounty. I felt like level 1 bounty will be helpful just so we can bust out more tunnels just at a little bit of a faster rate, just because we don't have a lot in the way of gathering resources. So like we don't have any oil derricks or anything like that. Now we could get the capture upgrade and then capture the oil derricks with our rebel ambush, but I felt like because the spendage is so low, you don't really need the oil derricks. As long as you've got cash bounty, black market, and enough workers gathering resources, you're set.
That building cannot fit there.
The end is near, General.
I am finished with the building.
Preserve it. We will be safe in there.
Oh, okay, I will work.
Just getting that 3rd worker to get resources for a little bit, just because I don't really have anything else to do with him. That being said though, I think what I could have done was maybe build a stinger site or 2 just with our excess cash. Now I felt like 5 rocket troops was enough to garrison this building to take out the Gatling cannon, but it's also to help defend, because he's going to send in X number of units after this building at some point, and I've got to make sure that 5 guys is enough to do it. So that's what I was saying. if I build a stinger site, that tunnel network that's getting destroyed might not have been destroyed. So with the helixes, yeah, my right side and my north side are pretty vulnerable here. So just letting the tunnels get destroyed, I don't mind. We got the cash, we can just build up stinger sites later on.
Soon your base will glow like the sun.
So we spawned in with our rebels, gone for those 2 garrison buildings, so we're just trying to clear this section in Tau's base quickly so then we can build some tunnels and some stinger sites just to establish that point.
I will obey.
And now for my final attack. Hold on, General. You're going to like this. Oh, wait. No, you won't. How you expect to fight this, General? Quick, ready yourselves.
Yeah, my next plan was to get rid of that bunker there. So Tau's bunkers are a little bit weird. They sort of damage themselves as they fire, which means that I don't have to do too much. I could just path the rocket around the map and then the bunker could destroy itself. And then that way I could move on to the next thing. But because I wasn't paying attention, I did lose one of my guys, but we just garrisoned the building. So I got 6 rocket troops inside the garrison building, which is going to be a pretty solid defense, especially since they're fully upgraded rocket troops and they're getting more and more veterancy by the minute as well as Tau keeps attacking it. Now with my workers, I thought, okay, let's build some stinger sites and some more tunnels. That way our position on this right side of his base is well established. Now that didn't help with the radiation, so just changing partners. One worker can now build the stinger site and the weaker one can go inside the tunnel. And yeah, since he was ramping up the infantry, I was like, okay, well, let's get some rebels. I was trying to get the worker out too, but sometimes with tunnels, it seems like the workers don't evac right away. Now, first nuke always goes to your northern resources. So this was a little bit of a mistake on my part right at the start. When I built my tunnel networks, I built them a little bit too far north, so it did turn those tunnels into GLA holes, but that's fine because they'll eventually get rebuilt anyway.
A warrior has fallen.
Surrender! Or do you want the bombing to continue?
That was a lot of work.
The infantry are vulnerable. The way is clear.
I'm just
It
a
looks
peasant.
like a nuclear winter this year, General.
No cost is too great. Ah-ya! Our day has come.
Shh! I sense danger.
So I was originally going to path the rebels around and then get the rocket troops to destroy the bunker, but couldn't quite do that. He just keeps sending more and more units after me, so it does make it a little bit harder to destroy the things that I want. So with Tau, he doesn't rebuild any of his stuff, which makes it really cool to deal with him.
The end is
But
near, General.
I'm not really in a position to destroy his stuff. See, if we were using Scud Storms, this would be easy, because we would just use the Scud Storm to destroy the war factory and airfield first, and then use another one on the other war factory. If the infantry was too much for me, like if I felt like really annoyed by that over everything else, I could just use the Scud Storms on the barracks instead. Either way, things would get blown up and things would be
This is
10 times
only the
easier.
beginning, General. The beginning of the end.
I'm just slowly pushing my line more and more off to the left, also getting more rocket troops to help us for the future attacks. And once we get rid of the bunker, but also get rid of the building next to the war factory, then we'll be golden here. Because that building there, if you destroy it and then get a worker to clear the way with a scaffold, then it's easy pickings for your rocket troops later on.
Soon your base will glow like the sun.
Attacking! The tunnels will
A warrior has fallen.
The higher orders shall reign.
I know your weaknesses now, General. The next attack will be unstoppable.
Building construction has been completed. I will obey.
No cost is too great. Let us enter this building.
Our work is complete.
The next rebel ambush, we're just going to take out these bunkers here just to get some more EXP, and it also does mean that if we do any attacks like anthrax bomb or anything like that, it'll be no problem. And also sneak attacks too. If we do the sneak attack right in front of the war factory, that would work because there's no rocket troops to counteract that. And yeah, the tanks, because they don't have the isotope upgrade, they're going to make a big boom once you destroy them. We did garrison that building, so we're able to pick off a few of his guys before they eventually get destroyed. Now the rocket troops, they're taking out that building that I mentioned earlier. So once that goes, we can use a worker to build a scaffold, and then we can use those rocket troops to destroy the war factory without any resistance there.
Now for my final attack.
Now I thought 3 guys would be enough to take out this Battlemaster, but the Battlemaster got a little bit too close, and I did lose those guys, which does delay it a little bit, but good news is we got rank 5, so we can do a sneak attack, anthrax bomb, and I went for level 2 cash bounty. Don't really need the extra cash by this point. We got 12 grand, so I'm pretty happy with where we're at here. So anthrax bomb, we're aiming it right in the middle of his base because he just has a lot of overlords and other units just camping there, not really doing anything. See, I'm surprised that he hasn't sent those units into my area that I've got control of. Now it's finally coming.
will know the glory of my nuclear arsenal.
So the overlords were spared some of the damage from the anthrax. Now because of those overlords, I chose not to counterattack with anyone in the tunnels. I thought we'll let the tunnels go and then we'll wait for them to come to my garrison building. So the garrison building, since it's got 6 guys inside that are super effective, it's going to do a lot of damage.
Our base is in peril.
General, a nuclear missile has been released.
Yes.
It looks like a nuclear winter this year, General.
I'm hungry. I will do what I must. Cannot we live in peace? This hammer is heavy. Ow! Okay, I will work.
The end is near, General.
Our work is complete.
Surrender. Or do you want the bombing to continue?
Yes. It's not looking too good, is it?
General.
Okay, so this one's a double nuke. So when it comes to double nukes, he'll normally go northern resources and then your main base. That's why I got the workers to try and get inside the tunnel before the nuke reaches me. So if we lose all the workers, then we're still going to be in a bad spot here. We'll at least have the general powers, but it might not be enough to finish him from this point. So we took out that building, now we got free reign over the war factory. And yeah, I chose to retreat. I should have just kept firing on the Red Guard. Seriously, these rocket troops are strong against a lot of infantry.
I'm just a peasant.
Soon your base will grow.
Yeah, didn't quite have the room to get those guys out.
No nukes? Who could think of such a thing?
So that's the thing with the helixes. Sometimes they'll take an angle where your palace can't actually fire on the helix, which is why you'll either need to evac the building or manually click attack on the enemy helix. Bit of bad timing there. I did lose some guys, but we're able to get more shots off on that war factory. And then I chose to use my rebel ambush on the other war factory. I thought, okay, well, maybe we could capture the other war factory and then no more vehicles.
My precious tanks
Our courage
gone.
will be seen by all. We will not
So yeah, he's got a pretty good response time. I got quite a few guys to try and capture the war factory. I was thinking to myself, well, as long as one of those guys stays alive to capture it, we're fine. And then I used the other guys to try and help defend. But as we were progressing, he was getting closer and closer to the other guys. So I was like, okay, they didn't work. Okay, we'll use these guys, and then we'll use this guy. And we just got the capture off by a fraction. See, I just got lucky there.
Eventually, someone must win the arms race. Or else, what is the point of racing, huh?
And now we're just trying to push more off to the left. So using the sneak attack as a distraction play, and then we can take out that Gatling cannon, and then we can have free reign over the airfield. Take out the airfield, no more helixes to it. And that'll just leave us with 2 barracks to contend with, which is just going to be Red Guards and Tank Hunters.
Don't let them get away. We will be safe in there.
And I didn't really have any other purpose with those rocket troops for now, so I put them inside the tunnel. They can get healed up, they can stay safe, and we don't want to go up against all of those infantry right away. I got the upgrade from the black market too. Wasn't sure if that was going to be really helpful because we're using Toxin Rebels, not the standard Rebels, but we're sitting on a lot of cash, so we may as well get the upgrade anyway. So I chose to sell off one of the tunnels, and reason why I sold off one of the tunnels is because one of Tao's nukes can go on cash value, like other generals' super weapons, and I thought, okay, well, let's try and decrease the value of this spot just by a little bit. That way he doesn't aim a nuke here, because if he aims a nuke here, then it does mean that it's going to take longer for me to pick apart his base. So, next attack, we're just trying to deal with the garrison buildings. That way we can do more anthrax bombs, or we can just keep pushing to that left.
One path to freedom.
You cannot stand against my might,
We will
General.
be protected in there.
I will obey. That building cannot sit there. I'm just a peasant. I will try to hurry.
A warrior has fallen.
This is only the beginning, General. The beginning of the end.
Yep, so I'm using Anthrax Bomb next. And the reason why I'm using Anthrax Bomb in that spot is because he just keeps busting out the Tank Hunters and Red Guards. It feels like he's just attacking me over and over again, and I can't exactly make the push to the left. So I thought, okay, let's use the Anthrax Bomb. That'll whittle down some of those infantry for a little bit, and then we can do sneak attack or a rebel ambush later on to pick off that barracks after the toxins go away.
Or do you want the bombing to continue?
Don't let them get away. There they are. Quick, run for shelter.
I'm guessing that the Anthrax Bomb probably didn't, land, but that doesn't really matter anyway, because we got a bunch of these rebels which could make an attempt at capturing the barracks, and yeah, these rebels are super effective against infantry. So get one guy to capture the barracks, another guy for the power plant, another guy for the supply center, and then the rest can just help defend. Now, since we're capturing all of this stuff, it's going to attract the attention of that Gatling cannon there. So since it's going to be a distraction play, it means that we can get our other infantry in the game to take out the Gatling cannon, and then we can move on to the other buildings nearby.
General, it is not my men you should fear.
So that's exactly what I did. Got the sneak attack just so it cuts down on the travel time, and then I can get my rocket troops out of the tunnel, and then we can pick off the Gatling cannon.
Don't worry, General. The warheads are on their way.
So yeah, silly move. I tried attempting to capture the other power plant, but I should have just solved the supply center. That would have made a lot more sense.
Enemy may be near. We will use use toxins to defeat them. Our courage will be seen by all. No cost is too
And now this section's clear. I got free reign over this section of the base. I can capture whatever I want. I can destroy whatever I want. And
over there.
the more power plants you destroy, the closer he's going to get to running out of power. So I went for this approach. I wanted to keep the nuclear missiles in play because that's going to take up 50 power. Then if you add in any of his remaining Gatling cannons, that's going to be 3 power plus 50.
In the GLA underground.
So
We have
you probably have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think he's got like 5 Gatling cannons. So if they take up 3 power each, that's 15 plus 50, that's 65. Oh yeah, that speaker tower's 1 power, so that's 66. So I captured the bunker there, the radiation bunker, just to act as a distraction play. That way we pick off another Gatling cannon and then we can move in more on the left. And we're just pathing those rocket troops towards one of my reactors.
Quick, ready yourself. Okay, over there.
And with our workers, we're just going to keep building up tunnels to increase our rocket troop count, and then we can make more moves on his right side later on.
Clear winter this year, General.
We don't need to go after the resources to the north or capture any oil derricks. I'm pretty happy with what we got. Now, the rocket troops that I moved, I'm destroying this radiation bunker, and then I plan to clear the way with a scaffold.
And now for my final attack. Hold on, General. You're going to like this. Oh, wait. No, you won't.
That building cannot fit there. I can't.
The end is near, General.
Yep, so now that section's cleared, I can get my sneak attack in the game, which is just about ready to go. Now, he has launched a nuke, and I was thinking it was probably going to hit my base this time. It was a double nuke, so again, Northern Resources main base in this case. Now, worker count, we're still doing pretty well with workers, but the game is almost over anyway, so we're going to use our sneak attack right next to that nuke. That way it's a distraction for that. We can use the infantry that's lying around to pick off his other defenses. And this way we can also get rid of those reactors too. So, did get a little bit careless with the reactors, because you don't want to be too close to the reactors when you blow them up. Otherwise you're going to take radiation damage. And I was building a barracks. My brain was thinking, oh, okay, we should put these guys in the barracks so then they can get healed up. And then I'm like, we have a tunnel here. Why don't we just use that? But also kind of a good move anyway, unintentionally, because we are getting nuked at our main base, and we do need a barracks to build up our base defenses anyway, so unintentional, but definitely helpful. Now, we don't need to deal with the Gatling cannon that's off to the far left. We can just leave that alone. Now, that's just going to consume 3 power, plus you got the 2 more off to the right, so power-wise, I think he's at 59, and he's got like 5 reactors left. So he's still really trying to beat me at my main base, but with tank hunters and red guards, he's not really going to do much against my toxin networks. So he's doing pretty well with the nukes though. He's actually being pretty accurate with them. So, yep, finally, rebel ambush. We're going to try and take out this barracks here. Once you take out the barracks, he's really got nothing left to attack with other than the nuclear missiles, but the nuclear missiles are so inconsistent that he might not be able to beat me in time. So since I saw like battle masters and a lot of red guards and tank hunters, I thought we'll cut my rebels in half here. We'll put some of them in the garrison building, and then the rest can help defend, and then a couple can capture the buildings.
You are losing this war, General. A few more bombs.
And it's just clearing that fence so I've got a wider range with the garrison building.
General, a nuclear missile has been
I got one guy trying to help defend the barracks. Another guy, I put him in the barracks, just trying to take care of him, make sure he gets back to full health.
See it, General?
Our courage will be seen by all. Take it by force. The higher order shall reign.
I will obey. If that is what you want. Yes. This is
A
hard
warrior has
work.
fallen.
Are there not better tools?
The infantry are
Okay, so what I just did there
It looks like a
might not have been the
nuclear
best
winter
move.
this
I think
year,
I
General.
needed the fencing, so then I could help myself not get shot down by the Gatling cannon. Doesn't matter though. We've still got plenty of units to play with. And yeah, he ended up nuking the army, so I've lost majority of my units, meaning I'd have to get my workers to build more tunnels to replenish what I lost. So I ended up using the anthrax bomb, and I was able to get a sneak attack right next to the nuke away from the Gatling cannon. And just to be safe, I got the rocket troops as far away from the anthrax bomb as I could, just so I don't get them killed.
Warrior has fallen.
defend our cause.
General, if you sell off any more buildings,
Yeah,
how will we
funny
find
enough,
fault?
that one reactor was enough to shut him down, so I didn't need to use the anthrax bomb anyway. It just whittles down the HP of his remaining buildings.
General, the beginning of the end. And now for my final attack.
Yeah, right now I'm going after this garrison building, and I was like, I don't see any anthrax on the map, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh, okay, that might not have been a good move, but good thing I only sent out 2 guys, that way we can still use the other remaining rebels in case he's got more to attack me with.
Soon your base will glow like the sun.
The higher order shall reign. Nothing will stop us.
Yep, so no more anthrax. We can pick off that last building, and we got our remaining rocket troops that can take out the bunker and the last 3 reactors. And that'll pretty much be how I beat General Tau with Dr Thrax without building any units, and also without building any Scud Storms either. I'm Crikolo. I do have a playlist if you want to check out any of my other Generals challenges that are much harder than this one. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.
The tunnels will protect us.
You cannot stand against my might, General.
Okay, over there. Watch your step. Overtake them. Attack before they attack us.
We are victorious.
Another moment, and I would have reduced you to dust.